Um, not really. Uh, yeah, no, not really. I'm not too to be honest, I feel like I'm kind of casual with the game.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
play
yeah,
it
yeah.
sometimes.
Okay, okay, perfect, perfect. Well, let's get right into the code here. Let me skim through this form really fast here. I want to know how to improve my gameplay. Play around 2 hours every day. Had a dry spell where I took a break from the game. Okay. Probably your listening skills are a bit of an issue. A lot of time where you don't know what's going on around you. Goals to reach diamond. Okay, okay, sounds good. Let's take a look here. So, any questions gameplay wise before we get in?
Um, I kind of feel like a lot of the time a big problem with my gameplay is I I'll see things happen and I don't really feel like I can do anything about them. Like if
Okay.
I see a if I see a res happening pretty far away from me, or I see a tire coming toward my team, I feel like I can't really do anything about it, and those are the
Yes.
things that usually trip me up.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So that's what I call there's a concept I like to call toxic team play, where you're thinking about what my team needs right now, and I can't contribute to what my team needs, whether that's the dealing with the flanking Reaper or the Riptire or whatever else, or the Resing Mercy, right? Your job, though, is not to worry about that. Your job is to simply do what your character does best and then let your team do what they do best as well. In fact, if you try to chase a Riptire as Genji instead of flanking their backline, if you overextend trying to stop a res instead of just punishing the isolated support that you've now isolated, you might throw the fight. It's the same thing that I see when I see I'll see let's say a Kiriko, right? A Kiriko, somebody who should be probably taking an angle, and all she wants to do is Suzu her tank the entire game, right? And that
Mhm.
might be good in some circumstances, but really the best thing you could do for your tank as a Kiriko a lot of times is just taking an angle and putting out pressure on the back line, right? Or helping your DPS. So what you can do and what your team needs at that given moment might be two different things, but never, ever, ever compromise your job to try and help elsewhere.
Okay.
The analogy that I like to use is that like if you hiring a moving van to help you move stuff, your job for the moving people is not to help them lift the bookshelf or the bed. Your job is to pack your crap together,
Mhm.
right? That's the
Mhm.
best way that you can help them is to do your job. Okay. So everyone might be doing different things, but you play to your strengths, you do your job. So for Genji Venture, you take a short off angle, you harass squishies, you harass tank. That's your job. You don't heal your team. You don't tank for your team. You don't break rip tires. You don't necessarily, help your team by blocking for your tank. Or you just do your job. That's all you can do.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
great question. Just be aware of that. Okay. So I like the hero pool hooler, Venture, and Genji. Do you have any questions about Venture?
Huh. Sometimes I feel like I don't know how I don't know specifically how the gameplay wise, because usually when I play Genji, I usually switch between Venture and Genji when I feel like I need to get in there a different way. I feel like Venture's
Yes.
burrow just does what Genji's thing Dash does, but with like less consequence, but they're slower. So it's kind of like the balance, I guess.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah, yeah.
I'm yeah, sometimes I'm kind of stuck on there'd be times where I feel like I don't know what I'm supposed to do with either hero, what I'm supposed to do in a certain situation with a lot of characters. Um, Especially ones where it's like where I'm playing into like counters. They might not even be like super serious counters, but I feel like sometimes those counters can really mess me up. Like just
Sure.
until recently, Cassidy got really played a lot, so did Sombra and Farah, and that's just been like a horrible week for me. It was real
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, that could be difficult. I think for understanding like what are your priorities with each role, like whether it's Venture or Genji, a lot of times it's just getting close to people. That's it. Getting close to people from a flank. Now with Genji, that might be a flank that's using high ground. It might be with Venture a flank that you because of Burrow, like you were saying, you can kind of set up deep flanks, right? Like you can sneak around behind them. That might be the way that Venture's played. But your job is to utilize that verticality. So if you're struggling versus Sombras, if you're struggling versus Cassidy's, are you using that verticality? Are you using what makes your character unique? Because if you're not playing to your character's strengths, then you're not playing the character. If you're poking with Genji from far away, you're not playing the character. If you're not taking flanks with Venture, you're not playing the character. And that's the key thing. That's what we have to find out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So the question is here, are you playing to Venture's strengths is where you're at right now? Is this a short flank?
Um, Kind of. I like to
Kind
think
of?
so. Yeah.
Okay. What makes you say kind of and not confidently yes?
Because I'm not really behind them. I'm kind of just like off angling them. They can still look at me, which is why I got poked out right there.
Okay. Keep going. So then where should you set up from here?
I think I should probably go back there. They're still
Okay, and you
trying to
do.
shoot.
What do you think about this?
This is okay. I feel like this is okay if I can aim.
Sure.
This is
I mean,
okay.
even if you don't aim, it's still the right play. Okay. Looking good. Taking angles, setting up, clonking your head in the roof. Welcome to the club.
Sometimes I kind of struggle hitting those shots right there. I feel like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So you want to know how you hit those shots? Here's how you hit those shots.
Let me see.
You go into arcade. I won't pull up arcade. But you go into your unranked deathmatch, right? Or just in your competitive games, and I want you to tell me the difference visually between me doing this. Okay? I'm just holding down the mouse button, okay? And doing this.
Oh, you're waiting a little bit before every shot.
Right.
To
Why?
really aim it.
Right.
So you
That's
can
it.
get
Right.
Yeah.
Because I can use my shots at maximum fire rate, but if I'm missing all of them, what's the point? In fact, it's not only a neutral thing, it's actually a negative thing because I want to build the habit. I want to train my mechanics. And the only way you can train your mechanics is by, putting thought into it, right? Slowing it down. So if we go back to that clip there, in fact, we don't even have to think about it. We can be quite sure that you were holding down your mouse button. Firing at maximum fire rate instead of slowing it down. Now, optimally, you'd like to improve your speed. But the way to improve your speed is to go maybe a little slower than you need to, especially in hard to hit shots. And in situations like this, aim then shoot. Don't shoot then aim. You see that?
Yeah.
Look at where you shoot and then you adjust your crosshair. Same thing here. They're not terrible shots. Let's be very clear. These are hard to aim, okay? But, of course, give yourself a little bit more time.
I think this is when I start to struggle because I got my Farah.
Right. So, what's your job as Venture again, right? Short off angles, right? Just short off angles, short flanks, whatever like that.
Yeah.
That does not change when they're in far.
Okay.
It just removes one target from being generally a viable kill. But at the same time, it means that the other targets are more isolated. For example, if they're running Farah here, look at how they're spreading here. If you were to take the exact same flank that you just took, what were they on? Bastion. Okay, so you take the exact same flank that you just took, but now there's no Bastion there. It's just Moira, Kiriko, Widow by themselves, right?
Yeah.
Would that flank still work?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a 2-for-1 because now you're also avoiding the Farah at the same time. One of the worst things that you can do when you're quote-unquote being countered is to panic and start thinking only about that counter. You see this? You're totally changing how you're playing because they're on Farah, but you just could do the same exact flank and it would work.
Oh.
You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all you need to do is do your job. Now, Farah will be really difficult if there's no flanks on the entire map, but that's going to be very rarely is that going to be the case. Can you get out? Oh, by the way, if you're going to be doing your burrow drill dash combo, maybe because you weren't sure here, but it is really important that you use that drill dash as soon as you possibly can. Use it now, right? Because you need to benefit from that reduced cooldown. You need to do it as quickly as you can, because right here, you should already have your drill dash again and be able to drill dash further out, but you don't because you didn't use it immediately. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, what should you be doing right now?
I should be trying to go back and cover instead of trying to fight this Farah.
Go back enough cover, set up at the backline again. The funny thing is you actually do pretty nicely mechanically here. Bam, bam, bam. Like, those are some good shots. It's just there was a better angle available, right?
Yeah.
Could have been doing the exact same thing here. setting up for a Widow or whatever. But yeah, don't let the difficulty of that matchup discourage you from doing what you need to be doing. Remember we talked about the start with the Riptire. Just do your job.
Yeah.
And honestly, here, I respect it. It's just I think you guys are down too many. Okay, it was a good try. Thank you. I think.
Yeah. 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 I don't know why he pulled me into a Doomfist punch.
Solve the problem. Where do you need to be? I don't think there's any one spot here, but what are some options?
I could probably be in that hallway still.
Which hallway?
I could
down here.
The one. Yeah.
I agree.
Be down there.
I agree. It could set up through this door right here, right? Exactly. Give me another spot.
I could probably go up on top of that bridge and try to get get up there too.
And this is the funny part. You could actually fight Pharah here now. Like all of a sudden, like this is where, like, because it's a short off angle. Like, and if Pharah's not here, okay, well then I can flank behind this way. If okay, if there's nobody here, then I can just poke. Right? There's options here, right? And you just nailed the first two options that I would go for. The question is are you going to go there? And the answer is, and the question is why? And the question is why not, right? Like, because you're an idiot. What's wrong with you? Slap you upside the face. No, you're not an idiot, right? We all do this. I do this in my gameplay all the time, right? But why? Like, what's distracting you right now? This was several days ago. Do you remember?
Probably the Doom. I think I knew that the Pharah was up there too. I think that I thought that if I used my ability to try to get in there, I would just get cornered by the Pharah and the Doomfist,
right?
And I'd die.
And you'd be right depending on what we're talking about. If you were to like drill dash in, right, you'd die. But what's the difference between that engage and the two engages that you just gave me 5 seconds ago?
They're pretty side focused. I want to say like they're off angle heavy.
Yeah, they're off angle heavy. It's also like they're very preparation heavy as well. Like you're not just like skipping steps and just running it in. You're actually like being devious and sneaky and wrapping around and saving an ability. And you know what I'm saying, right? So the way that you're approaching is different. The question here is what are you going to do to punish a Doomfist for engaging or to stop a Pharah from spamming your team? Where you are right now.
Nothing.
You're right? So you're again, do your job. Your job is not to punish this Doomfist. You just don't do it very well. Nor is it Pharah. So you see, this is skipping steps. I'm glad we got to backline here. I'm glad the Pharah's dead. This isn't going to be bad, but we should have been here ages ago.
Yeah.
And we should have not needed to use our ability to get in, because that's the best part about Venture. If you can use a burrow to set up and a drill dash to set up, and then get to that angle, what will happen is you will be able to fight from that angle, and you'll end up having both cooldowns. Instead of drill dashing in and fighting without your drill dash. You'll have both.
Yeah.
The more time you spend investing your time, you'll be able to either disengage or fight with your cooldowns instead of having to use them to jump in. It's like a Winston flanking so that he can save his jump, right? I think this is a little too far. Now this is awkward. This is a really awkward fight spot, right? Like this doesn't feel all that good. But I think there's an option here. Come up with something creative here.
I think I could probably go underneath that little bridge. Yeah, underneath down there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
and just start poking them at least a little bit. Because they're not really... Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Now, obviously, Widow's here, but we didn't know that. But I think this is a good idea. Better than get spammed by Pharah. Nice shots. See, even you being
okay.
Yeah, you got a little luckier. But see, even this, like, do you see, like, look at the attention that you're getting from just holding here. Look at this Widow, look at this Moira, look at this Pharah, right? There's no help here. This Doom is getting no help. They're taking no space whatsoever. This Doomfist, yeah, this is really bad for them. Really, really, really bad. Even this, like, I would say this is a little risky, but you're doing what this character does best, right? So like, and shockingly, it's working. Moira faded out, Kiriko's out of position, Widow's chasing you in SMGing. You pop ultimate, they're totally out of position here. Yeah, good. So as messy as that was in terms of like, oh, I had to get my ult, you got out. You got out. You isolated the Doomfist. You made them swap. Nice job.
Cool.
Same thing here. Obviously, you don't have any of your abilities here, and you're not quite full HP, but you're a nightmare right now to deal with. You're a nightmare. Oh, that's so good.
Oh.
Look at the shots though. You were not firing at full fire rate here. We'll slow it down just a little bit. You actually took the time here. You notice that you didn't fire immediately. You waited. Nice, nice, really good. That's okay. It's an unfortunate death, but man, that was really quite good.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk rollout. Here's the optimal rollout. There's 2 rollouts. One, if you have a good drill dash from spawn. In other words, you're not gonna clunk into a wall. Okay. 2, the one if you don't have a good drill dash from spawn, because it kind of locks you in one direction, so you can like mess it up. So this is what you do. There's rollout 1, which is I have a great drill dash from spawn. Drill dash, burrow. I move a little bit faster with this. Bam. That's your rollout number 1. Okay.
Okay.
Rollout number 2 is like, let's say it's like an awkward spawn door here where I wouldn't be able to like drill dash my full distance. I just clunk into a wall. You're gonna burrow, drill dash to control, and notice I can kind of turn it. Don't fully charge it like that. That was a mistake. And then drill dash out again. Use your abilities. Much, much faster rollout. Like you need to be using that as much as you possibly can. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think could be abusing that burrow reduction in a little bit more. And then obviously, putting a little bit more time to set up. But yeah, you need to be using that drill. Where should you go? This is the moment of truth right here.
I think I can go up there and help with my widow.
You got it. Even if you want to shoot the Rhine, get it to where the Rhine has to choose where he has to shield from, right? Don't stand in front of his shield. Wrap around. Make him. If you want to shoot tank, do it from behind. Because you got all these mobilities to play around with. Do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I like this. This is good. This is sneaky. Ryan's there on the floor, so you're like, hey, I can contest this. Beautiful job. Wow. Disengage. You're good. Rinse and repeat. You can even contest far here because this is a nice congested little area here. Sure. You set up. You get rewarded for it. Nice job. Great job. Good job. Really good job.
Sweet.
Now the widow's like terrified. She can't take any space at all. And by the way, this is where you can really be using the drill dash cooldown thing. Check this out. So what you do here is you go, okay, they're far away. I can't reach them. Drill dash right now. Right at her. And she's going to freak. And what you do is you're going to do some circles. You're going to run some circles around. Just make them look at you, right? Then you decide. Because the way the drill dash works now is that if you drill dash as soon as you burrow, you will always have drill dash again. So what you do is you can then decide, do I want to disengage with my burrow? Do I want to commit on the kill? Do I want to pop out, shoot her, and then drill dash out to cover? It doesn't matter. But you need to do it now. Because you're using it now, but you could have gotten... You could still have drill dash if you drill dash as soon as you burrow. Remember the reduced cooldown. You've got to be leveraging that more. So like right now... And then she has to make a decision now. And also it does like 10 damage and it procs a DPS passive and it's noisy. It's like all the little benefits, right? But that being said, the idea here is still good. And she's dead. Nice job. So the strategy of what you did there was good, but the way that you like manage your cooldowns, not so good.
Okay.
Risky, but I respect it. And see, now you have your drill dash again. It's perfect. And look at that. That Ryan is so isolated now. That Moira is so isolated. The backline's completely out of position. Set up and do it again. I mean, that's fine, but, So, this is perfect. This is actually perfect.
Really?
Yes, watch. Not in terms of play, but this is perfect for our analogy here. Remember what we talked about
Okay.
earlier, where toxic team play.
Mm-hmm.
Don't help your teammates if it doesn't line up with your strengths. I respect this. I appreciate this. But what really should you be doing right now?
That really helps.
I should probably be going back on that flank.
Set up on the flank. So you're worried about your Widowmaker. You're like, this Moira's going to reach my flank. But I don't want you to worry about your Widowmaker because she's too far away. It's inconvenient for you to deal with her. Do you know what's convenient? For you to deal with her. For you to deal with her. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not that going for a Moira is bad. If the Moira was here, it'd be great. It's just inconvenient. And there's always opportunity cost. In other words, when you choose to do one thing, you're choosing not to do the other thing. You can't do both things at the same time. So when you go for Moira, you're letting Widow and Kiriko do whatever they want, and you're letting Soldier do whatever he wants. You understand? So the irony here, and this is why I said it's perfect, is look at what happens. Look what your Widow dies to. Not the Moira. She dies to the Widow.
Oh.
Now, would she have died to Moira either way? Yeah, probably. But at least you would have killed the Widow in response. And now you've gone backwards. You've used your cooldowns, and now the Moira, and you can't even kill the Widow Moira anymore. It sucks. Do your job. Do your job.
Okay.
Take an angle, take a flank. It doesn't even have to always be a deep flank, right? Just take an angle. Look for combos, look for cooldown value, look for spam value. Slow down your shots. Do your job.
Should I wait? No, not wait, but like, should I try to prioritize trying to protect my teammates?
No.
I guess.
No. Here's what you do. You take an angle. If somebody tries to take that angle to kill your backline, then kill them. In other words, if you are here and this Kiriko is trying to kill your backline, kill her. Why? Because it's convenient. Okay. So in other words, people ask this all the time when they're playing like Tracer. Should I mark the enemy Tracer? And I say yes, and I say no. Is the Tracer on the flank that you want to take? Yes, then mark her. Is she not? Then ignore her. Go do your own flank. That's the rule. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So like you could be protecting your teammates if you were fighting the Kiriko, right? But that would be good because it's convenient. You would also be protecting your teammates by fighting the Widow. Everything is protecting your teammates, if you think about it. Everything is protecting your teammates. The difference is with this and that, though, is this one was inconvenient and it involved you going backwards. It's another situation here, by the way, where you know you're going to spend your whole time in burrow. So what should you do right now?
Drill dash.
Drill dash. Blams. Go right at that soldier. Make a decision right now. Just circle, circle, circle. Pop out. You'll have your drill dash anyway. You might as well get that extra little bit of damage, extra bit of distraction. But yeah. Good disengage here. This fight's obviously lost. Oh, it's unfortunate. But yeah. Okay. Let's stop there because I want to get some Genji in, I assume, right? That work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Venture. Let's take some notes really quick before we move on. What do you need to practice with Venture?
I think I need to practice the optimal rollouts. I could also practice just being on the flank more. You know, really just getting in people's faces and scaring them like a shark.
Right. Keep an eye on the burrow and drill dash burrow thing. Utilize drill dash once you've burrowed to close long distances. You'll get it back anyway. Make sense? Slow down your shots on tough mechanical duels. Don't need max fire rate. Okay, so we just kind of threw everything in there. Let's move on to Genji. Now, any questions?
All right. Sometimes on Genji, I feel like I'm not doing any damage, or I'm not like doing enough.
Okay.
I feel like when I'm poking people, I don't feel like I'm really getting the most that I can, because if I really try to engage on them, I'll die. That's what it feels like. I feel like I can't be helpful long enough to kill things, and I can't be helpful quick enough to take advantage of cooldowns that are out.
I know exactly why this is a problem for you. The same way that Venture needs to be setting up on those angles, and not remember when you were here and we were like set up. Okay, where are we at? Okay, remember when you were here And I said,
Mhm.
okay, where are we? Okay, okay. I said, set up, and you just drill dash into the Moira. Okay, and obviously you just didn't really do a whole lot, right? If you'd set up, you could have been here earlier and then had your cooldowns to fight. It's the same thing with Genji. You need to close the distance on an angle, preferably without using dash if possible. Then you get to use your dash for damage or dash for disengagement. The problem with you is the positions that you're taking, you're either dashing for the position or you're playing an angle that's so far away you're not doing any damage with your shurikens. So right now, what's the short off angle that you can hold to where you can actually do damage?
I want to say like right in front of me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be up here. I think you're going to be sneaking around behind, harassing these guys, right? And you notice you don't have to use dash to get here. You just walk.
Yeah.
You walk around. And now, are you doing legitimate damage here? Yes. Are you going to be doing thousands of damage? No, it's just a squishy duel. But this is worth your time. Now, like, let's say that they didn't control this position and, like, they were, like, way back here. You could sit up here and throw shurikens on tank, right? And guess what? Because it's close, you would be doing pretty good damage.
Yeah.
This is your problem. You didn't need to dash here. And I certainly would not dash here without my deflect. You got your deflect force early, that's okay. Drop, grab the mag if you need to, and play bait. Play same exact thing as Venture. There's no difference. There's no difference. The only difference between you and Venture is your verticality is not in a cooldown. So I like your target here. Just don't like when you did it. Or how you did it.
Yeah.
And here, oh yeah, you're going to feel like you do no damage here. Because guess what? You do. You do no damage. This is not Genji's effective range, okay? So then what should you do now?
I should leave.
You should leave and go where?
I should leave and maybe I could go far and try to attack that far. Maybe
I agree. First off, the Pharah is right here, right? This is your effective range, right? You can contest Pharah at this range, 100%. Okay, so the Pharah leaves. Now what? They're all far away. Now what?
I could drop down and I could try to pressure from behind them too.
You could drop from behind. You could rotate to here. This is a little bit closer, a little bit nastier, right? All sorts of options here. The problem here is you just forgot Pharah existed and then used the dash to get the same position. Same thing here. You're going to have to dash. Now, it might be okay because they're really low. But when you're playing Genji and you're having to use dash to set up where you should have been without dash, you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term, like, people say that you should never use dash for damage, you just use it to, like, disengage?
Yeah.
It's false. It's false. It's not true. But you allow yourself to make that decision easier when you actually set up ahead of time.
Okay.
So let's grade your setups. Let's grade your setups here. You see it, right? You see it.
I see it.
You see it. Because what could you do now? How could you approach this? Let's say you have your dash and deflect. What do you do right now? First off, you've got their attention. That's good. But what do you do?
I don't think I need to climb that wall. Oh, I could have climbed that wall, but I could have just went under instead of like.
Oh, so
I
like here?
Just used deflect. Yeah, and just there. I didn't have to use dash.
Perfect. You or use your deflect and dash, and then dash go in here and wait for them to like regenerate cooldowns. And now they're really scared. Now they're really scared because on your next engage, you're gonna be right there, or you're gonna be right there. You got it. You see, you're treating this like chess now.
Yeah,
this is like a chess. So your problem here is like you had this is a pretty decent flank. You just don't need to dash onto them immediately. Be sneaky. Okay, so this isn't bad. This isn't bad. At least you disengage the deflect. That's good. And now your next engage. Perfect. And now you see it. You see this? You took the time to set up and opportunities presented themselves to you. And if they had all turned around and chased you, you could have just run away easily.
Yeah. I think I die here.
Well, you die because partly you just screw up your mechanics pretty badly. Number one. It's just bad mechanics. You just miss your combos, miss your shurikens. But the other thing is, here's what should you do right now. You messed up. Now what?
I try to leave.
Try to leave.
Try to leave.
Because
Yeah.
I want to clarify, you've done your job. You've not done it well, but you've done your job. You've distracted, you force the cooldowns, you've put them here, you put them there. Look at the Roadhog, right? That's your fault. You're killing this guy because you're totally isolating backline. Just please don't die. Just please don't die. You force all these CDs, all this attention. If you live, you then do it again, and you're cooking. I mean, if you're here a little bit faster, you grab mini, you go about, and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. You just needed to live. That's all.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does this feel like Venture?
Yes, actually. Now I'm looking
It's
at it.
highly mobile, short range flanker. It's the same thing. The only difference, like I said, is the verticality. Good, we're close. What do you think about this position? What do you think about the setup?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely dashed at that. I remember this memory too. I think I did.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't. I think I might have.
I don't care about your actions in the next few seconds. I care about the actions that put you here. What do you think about this spot? Ignore the dash, ignore the deflect, ignore your mechanics, or just what do you think? Is this good positioning?
No.
Okay, why not?
I think because I'm not really doing anything, and I'm looking directly
wait,
at
stop.
them.
No, wait a second, stop.
Oh.
Is there anything happening right now? Just yet.
No.
What will the enemy team do?
They'll fall out and try to start getting the payload, right?
Will you be in a good spot to deal with that?
I think so, yeah.
I think so too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I actually kind of like this angle. You're close. You're on an off angle because, as you said, because we looked at it. Look at your team and look at you. This is good. This is Genji stuff. Okay, this is Genji stuff, right? You're role playing here. Okay, you're being a little sneaky. You're a little rat. You know, you could even do something here like hug here and wall climb up here and kind of try to drop on them if they push out. Yeah, this is good. The question is, what are you gonna do with this? Okay.
I did. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know if I'd commit dash there. There's no real point because he's, it's 50 damage on a 9,000 HP target. Now, this is where things get hard. What's the difference between everything that's happened up to this point and what we see right now?
I'm not really flanking right now.
Well, you're not really close either.
Yeah.
This feels really stressful. This feels really stressful. This would feel bad with Venture. This would feel bad with Genji. What's the solution?
I don't take this angle. I go under. I try taking softer angles.
I agree. I agree. Where would you go? Now, the soldier's a little close, so that almost worked, but where would you go?
I'd probably go... Oh, I could probably go all the way around into that little room and try to start shooting that Widow. It might be a really deep flank, but...
But you got your dash, and don't forget, Genji moves faster, right? Just moving speed. He just runs faster. So yeah, this could work. Give me another option. Maybe not quite as... that's a high risk, high reward. I like high risk, high reward. Give me a low risk, low reward.
I could probably walk out that door right under Roadhog and start poking him, trying not to get hooked.
You're killed by Widow. GG's. Try again.
Oh.
but that's okay. But see, let me encourage you. It's okay to be thinking about a problem, try something, and it doesn't work. That's the trial and error you need to make to figure out this game. It's good. Try again, though.
Maybe I could try to take that that door like right next to the stairs.
So like here?
Maybe yeah. I don't think Widow can see me.
No, she can't. She can't. And this is a lot closer, right? This would be so annoying for them to deal with. Now you probably would get any kills here, but you would force a lot of attention. Yes. Great. Yeah. I would actually say this is more medium risk and medium reward, but I like it. That gets another thumbs up for me. So there's a third one.
Oh.
You're doing great.
I could probably... I might be able to... I don't know if Widow could probably see me from here, but if I like take that detour past where the payload goes and go up into that window near the bridge,
like here,
yeah.
Okay, so what do you do here now? Now what?
I could just poke. I can poke the Widow, and I can also poke the entire enemy team too.
And you can get close. You see this, or you could even do this here and sneak underneath. This is going to be your low. It sounds weird to call this low risk, but it is pretty safe. There's a lot of cover here. There's a mega health pack. There's nobody here. You could really ruin this Widow's life here. Really, really ruin this Widow's life and bait a lot of attention and maybe get a kill or two. Yep.
Okay, okay.
Congratulations, you got all three. I think all three of these are reasonable options. And really, it's up to you to choose which one you want. And now keep in mind, I don't want you to just memorize these spots. I want you to look at what the enemy team is doing and choose what you think is best.
Oh, I'm dead here.
Yeah, it's just too open, right? It's too far, right? I mean, it's a little unfortunate the soldier died there, but even if the soldier hadn't died, you still could have died to Widow there. And we're still playing too far. We're not on an angle. We're too far away. And it's always the direct approach. You notice this? It's always a direct approach. I mean, you don't have your deflector. You should die. Yeah, your life was saved there. So you notice it's your playstyle is don't take a really good angle, dash to compensate for my lack of a good angle, and then die. That's pretty much rinse and repeat what we've seen. Is all this making sense?
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Okay. Obviously a little tricky right now. I mean, I like this, right? You outrange a Moira, so you hide from the Widow who outranges you, and you poke the Moira down from a distance. Right? I mean, there'll be characters like Winstons and Reapers that you might poke out. You might be the sniper in that situation. But yeah, it's all about, like, what angle should I take?
Also, wait, okay.
Yeah,
when
please.
they get on something like, if I'm playing Genji and they get on something like Sim or Winston or Zarya, should I approach it the same way I approach the Far On Venture?
Sure. Do your job. Avoid them if you can. Play your effective range. Poke out a Winston. Sim is tricky because Sim kind of beats you up close and beats you far away. So just kind of... But it's also 50-50. Like, if you hit a couple of shurikens, you can just destroy her up close. And then it's kind of hard for her. It's easier for you to hit your shurikens than for her orbs from a distance. So it depends. Approach the fight. Depending, you take an angle and just do your job.
Yeah.
Take an angle and just do your job. Like, if there was a Symmetra here, this would still be effective, right? You just might change and go, oh, I can take the high ground in the Symmetra instead. There's always a positioning solution. Are you going to be smart enough to find out? This is clever. Look at that. She's forced to rotate. Now she's forced to rotate again. You just dash to chase. This is miserable for her. She hates her life. Freaking Genji players, man. And now, not only did you ruin that angle for her, but now you're in a really, really good spot for Blade. So even if the enemy team runs away from you, you're just continually bettering your position. Continually bettering your position. Better. I don't know that I would have gone without my deflect there, but I don't even really care, to be honest with you. You took an angle, you chased people out, you deserve the right to get that kill. Good job. Really good job.
Cool. Okay, good.
Good things happen when you set up. And you set up there. Your initial intention might have been to go for a Widow, but, you know, you set up. You took an angle.
Yeah.
Great job.
Awesome. Okay.
Whoop, scary. All right, now what? We got a real problem here. Widow's a million miles away. Soldier Idiari is a million miles away. What do you do? What should you do?
I think I dropped down, actually.
Okay, where?
Because, like, I dropped down underneath that one part with the Mega, and I started shooting Widow.
Yeah, it's sneaky. It gets close to the Widow, right? You could even shoot the Roadhog, LOS the tank, or LOS the backline, right? This right here is going to feel kind of messy. It's not going to feel awful, but it's going to feel tricky. So yeah, I 100% agree with your strat. Good call. Because this is not what Genji's good at. This is not what Venture's good at. You have to set up. This is going to feel really, really bad. This is just basically praying the Widow or Soldier don't hit the shot. And the only way to close the distance is going to be dash. I assume you get a deflect kill here or something, because I don't see how else this is going to work. Or maybe you do. Okay, you do close the distance. Eventually. Oh, that's a fat graph. Goodness gracious. Oh, that is really satisfying. That is so satisfying, man. That's what we all play Genji for right there. Yeah, I mean, it was good. You eventually did set up. So, if we go back to our Venture notes here. How many of these apply to Genji?
All of them.
Yeah. Same stuff as Venture, minus maybe the last point. But it's the same stuff. You just don't set up. If you set up proximity, close the distance, you do your job. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what I would encourage you to do is if you ever have a game where it just feels off, like it feels like I can't, go back and look at it. Go back and look at it. Go back and look at the replay code and do what we did on second point in Junkertown with your Genji. We were like, all right, pick the high risk, high reward angle, pick the lowest, low reward angle, pick the medium. There might not always be 3 options, but there'll be 1 or there'll be 2. Solve the problem. Solve the problem.
Yeah.
Played into Reaper Sombra. Felt terrible. They just kept focusing me the entire game. All right, pull up the replay code, look at 1 or 2 fights that felt particularly bad, look at it from like a bird's eye view, and just think. Solve the problem.
Okay.
It might not always be fun to play Genji into counters, but you could still be effective. It just might not always be fun. So when people say that Genji's bad because it feels bad to play into Moira or Torbjorn, I agree. But Genji still could be a very effective character all the way up to top 500.
Okay.
Manipulate your tension, adjust your positioning. Any questions?
No, that's it.